Our first hymn today is hymn number 475. Forget not who you are, O child of God, for God demands of you. Your heritage is good. Your home, in spirit's warm embrace, is safe, secure. Hymn number 475.
Forget not who you are, O child of God, for God demands of you reflection pure. Your heritage is goodly, and your home in spirit's warm embrace is safe, secure. You are the child of spirit, sinless, pure. Yours is a perfect beauty born of soul, complete with health, vitality, and grace. For is not God your Father perfect whole? Your understanding to come straight from God, for in that mind magnificent and clear, you are conceived by love, a perfect child, unhampered by the flesh or doubt or fear. So now look up to God's pure holy light, and greet with fearless joy each coming day. Of royal birth you are a king's own child, and God is yours, and you are God's always.
Is from Jeremiah. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? For to thee doth it appertain. For as much as among all the wise men of the nations, and in all their kingdoms, there is none like unto thee. But they are altogether brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of vanities. Silver spread into plates is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Uphaz, the work of the workman, in the hands of the founder. Blue and purple is their clothing. They are all the work of cunning men. But the Lord is the true God. He is the living God, and an everlasting King. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. Thus shall ye say unto them, the God hath not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth, and from under these heavens. He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heavens by his discretion. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. And he maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, and the work of errors. In the time of their visitation they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Let's take a few moments for silent prayer, followed by the audible repetition of the Lord's Prayer with its spiritual sense as found in Science and Health.
Our Father, which art in heaven,
Our Father, Mother, God, all harmonious,
hallowed be thy name.
adorable One.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom is come, thou art ever present.
thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Enable us to know, as in heaven, so on earth, God is omnipotent, supreme.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us grace for today. Feed the famished affections.
and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
And love is reflected in love.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
And God leadeth us not into temptation, but delivereth us from sin, disease, and death.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever.
For God is infinite, all power, all life, truth, love, over all and all.
Our next text this morning is, Arise, ye people, take your stand, cast out your idols from the land. Above all doctrine, form, or creed is found the truth that meets your need. Christ's promise stands. They that believe his works shall do, his power receive. Hymn number 12.
First Church of Christ Scientist, Terre Haute. We're a branch of the First Church of Christ Scientist, Boston, Massachusetts, the Mother Church. Everyone is always welcome. We meet here every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. for the lesson sermon that is read at every Christian Science church worldwide. On Wednesdays at 6 p.m., we have a testimony meeting. This is where the reader selects passages from the Bible in Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. Ample time is set aside for the sharing of testimonies of healing. Our church offers a reading room, which is open on Mondays and Tuesdays from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. Here you can study the week's lesson in a quiet atmosphere, read books and articles, purchase the periodicals, supplies, or whatever else you may need along your journey of this healing ministry. On October 24th at 7 p.m. at the Champaign Public Library in Champaign, Illinois, the Christian Science Church of Champaign is hosting a talk by Nicole Virgil titled Be Set Free. For more information on this, you can check out our bulletin board. And also please join us on Saturday, October 26th at 1 p.m. at the Terre Haute Convention Center as we welcome Janet Haggerty as she gives her talk on how to make change for the better. Our monthly board meeting will be held today after the service. The solo today is Glory Be to God on High. The Bible and the Christian Science textbook are our only preachers. We shall now read scriptural texts and their correlative passages from our denominational textbook. These comprise our sermon. The canon writing, together with the word of our textbook, corroborating and explaining Bible texts in their spiritual import and application to all ages, past, present, and future, constitute a sermon undivorced from truth, uncontaminated, and unfettered by human hypotheses, and divinely authorized. The subject of this week's lesson sermon is matter, and begins on page 52 of the Citation Edition, Christian Science Quarterly. The golden text is from the Contemporary English Version, Isaiah. Why make an idol or an image that can't do a thing? The responsive reading is from the New King James Version, Deuteronomy. And Moses called all Israel and said to them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your hearing today, that you may learn them and be careful to observe them.
Therefore, be careful to observe them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the peoples, who will hear all these statutes and say, Surely this is a great nation, is a wise and understanding people.
Take careful heed to yourselves, for you saw no form when the Lord spoke to you at Horeb, out of the midst of the fire.
Lest you act corruptly and make for yourselves a carved image in the form of any figure, the likeness of male or female,
The likeness of any animal that is on the earth, or the likeness of any winged bird that flies in the air,
the likeness of anything that creeps on the ground, or the likeness of any fish that is in the water beneath the earth.
and take heed lest you lift your eyes to heaven, and when you see the sun, the moon, and the stars, all the host of heaven, you feel driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord your God has given to all the peoples under the whole heaven as a heritage.
Therefore know this day, and consider it in your heart, that the Lord himself is God in heaven above, and on the earth beneath. There is no other. The Holy Bible, John. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Isaiah. I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. Deuteronomy. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. Psalms. In God I will praise his word. In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. Jeremiah. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise.
As stated in the explanatory notes, I'll read relative passages from our denominational textbook, Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures, by Mary Baker Eddy. Divine science deals its chief blow at the supposed material foundations of life and intelligence. It dooms idolatry. A belief in other gods, other creators, and other creations must go down before Christian science. When apparently near the confines of mortal existence, standing already within the shadow of the death valley, I learned these truths in divine science, that all real being is in God, the divine mind, and that life, truth, and love are all powerful and ever present, that the opposite of truth, called error, sin, sickness, disease, death, is the false testimony of false material sense, of mind and matter, that this false sense evolves, in belief, a subjective state of mortal mind, which this same so-called mind names matter, thereby shutting out the true sense of spirit. As mind is immortal, the phrase mortal mind implies something untrue and therefore unreal. And as the phrase is used in teaching Christian Science, it is meant to designate that which has no real existence. Christian Science explains all cause and effect as mental, not physical. Science so reverses the evidence before the corporeal human senses as to make this scriptural testimony true in our hearts. The last shall be first, and the first last, so that God and his idea may be to us what divinity really is, and must of necessity be, all-inclusive. Works on metaphysics leave the grand point untouched. They never crown the power of mind as the Messiah, nor do they carry the day against physical enemies, even to the extinction of all belief in matter, evil, disease, and death, nor insist upon the fact that God is all, therefore that matter is nothing beyond an image in mortal mind.
Ecclesiastes. For in the multitude of dreams and many words, there are also diverse vanities, but fear thou God. Jeremiah. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies, and by their likeness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith the Lord. Psalms. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throat. They that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusteth in them. Romans. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit, that we are the children of God.
The scriptures inform us that man is made in the image and likeness of God. Matter is not that likeness. The likeness of spirit cannot be so unlike spirit. Man is spiritual and perfect, and because he is spiritual and perfect, he must be so understood in Christian Science. What is termed matter manifests nothing but a material mentality. Mortals are no more material in their waking hours than when they act, walk, see, hear, enjoy, or suffer in dreams. We can never treat mortal mind and matter separately because they combine as one. Close your eyes, and you may dream that you see a flower, that you touch and smell it. Thus you learn that the flower is a product of the so-called mind, a formation of thought rather than of matter. Close your eyes again, and you may see landscapes, men and women. Thus you learn that these also are images which mortal mind holds and evolves, and which stimulate mind, life, and intelligence. From dreams also you learn that neither mortal mind nor matter is the image or likeness of God, and that immortal mind is not in matter. The fading forms of matter, the mortal body, immaterial earth, are the fleeting concepts of the human mind. They have their day before the permanent facts and their perfection in spirit appear. The crude creations of mortal thought must finally give place to the glorious forms which we sometimes behold in the camera of the divine mind, when the mental picture is spiritual and eternal. Mortals must look beyond fading, finite forms if they would gain the true sense of things. Where shall the gaze rest but in the unsearchable realm of mind?
Ezekiel. Repent and turn yourselves from your idols. Jeremiah. The pen of the scribes is in vain. The wise men are ashamed. They are dismayed and taken. Lo, they have rejected the word of the Lord, and what wisdom is in them? For they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. Psalms. Teach me, O Lord, the way of thy statutes, and I shall keep it unto the end. Turn away mine eyes from beholding vanity, and quicken thou me in thy way. 2 Corinthians. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
We bow down to matter and entertain finite thoughts of God like the pagan idolater. Mortals are inclined to fear and to obey what they consider a material body more than they do a spiritual God. A material body only expresses a material and mortal mind. A mortal man possesses this body, and he makes it harmonious or discordant according to the images of thought impressed upon it. Disease is always induced by a false sense, mentally entertained, not destroyed. Disease is an image of thought externalized. The mental state is called a material state. Whatever is cherished in mortal mind as the physical condition is imaged forth on the body. Descriptions of disease given by physicians and advertisements of quackery are both prolific sources of sickness. As mortal mind is the husbandman of error, it should be taught to do the body no harm and to uproot its false sowing. Such books as will rule disease out of mortal mind, and so efface the images and thoughts of disease, instead of impressing them with forcible descriptions and medical details, will help to abate sickness and to destroy it. The press unwittingly sends forth many sorrows and diseases among the human family. It does this by giving names to diseases and by printing long descriptions, which mirror images of disease distinctly in thought. Eradicate the image of disease from the perturbed thought before it has taken tangible shape in conscious thought, alias the body, and you prevent the development of disease. This task becomes easy if you understand that every disease is an error and has no character nor type except what mortal mind assigns to it. By lifting thought above error or disease and contending persistently for truth, you destroy error. Blot out the images of mortal thought and its beliefs in sickness and sin. Then, when thou art delivered to the judgment of truth, Christ, the judge will say, thou art whole.
2 Corinthians. What agreement hath the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God. 1 Chronicles. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Acts. God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Ghost and with power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for God was with him. Matthew. And behold, they brought to him a man sick of the palsy, lying on a bed. And Jesus, seeing their faith, said unto the sick of the palsy, Son, be of good cheer, thy sins be forgiven thee. And behold, certain of the scribes said within themselves, This man blasphemeth. And Jesus, knowing their thoughts, said, Wherefore think ye evil in your hearts? For whether is easier to say, Thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, Arise and walk? But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins, then saith he to the sick of the palsy, Arise, take up thy bed, and go unto thine house. And he arose and departed to his house. And when the multitude saw it, they marveled and glorified God, which had given such power unto men.
Christ, truth, was demonstrated through Jesus to prove the power of spirit over the flesh, to show that truth is made manifest by its effects upon the human mind and body, healing sickness and destroying sin. Jesus healed sickness and sin by one and the same metaphysical process. What is termed matter, being unintelligent, cannot say, I suffer, I die, I am sick, or I am well. It is the so-called mortal mind which voices this and appears to itself to make good its claim. Palsy is a belief that matter governs mortals and can paralyze the body, making certain portions of it motionless. Destroy the belief, show mortal mind that muscles have no power to be lost, for mind is supreme, and you cure the palsy. The refutation of the testimony of material sense is not a difficult task in view of the conceded falsity of this testimony. The refutation becomes arduous, not because the testimony of sin or disease is true, but solely on account of the tenacity of belief in its truth, due to the force of education and the overwhelming weight of opinions on the wrong side, all teaching that the body suffers as if matter could have sensation. At the right time, explain to the sick the power which their beliefs exercise over their bodies. Give them divine and wholesome understanding with which to combat their erroneous sense, and so efface the image of sickness from mortal mind. Keep distinctly in thought that man is the offspring of God, not of man. That man is spiritual, not material. That soul is spirit, outside of matter, never in it, never giving the body life and sensation. It breaks the dream of disease to understand that sickness is formed by the human mind, not by matter, nor by the divine mind. God is more to a man than his belief, and the less we acknowledge matter or its laws, the more immortality we possess. Consciousness constructs a better body when faith in matter has been conquered. Correct material belief by spiritual understanding, and spirit will form you anew. For right reasoning, there should be but one fact before the thought, namely, spiritual existence.
1 John. Little children, keep yourselves from idols. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. James. Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Proverbs. He that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. Romans. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. 2 Corinthians. We all, with open face beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord.
Material personality is not realism. It is not the reflection or likeness of Spirit, the perfect God. Sensualism is not bliss, but bondage. For true happiness, man must harmonize with his principle, divine love. The Son must be in accord with the Father, in conformity with Christ. The human mind has been an idolater from the beginning, having other gods and believing in more than the one mind. In a world of sin and sensuality hastening to a greater development of power, it is wise earnestly to consider whether it is the human mind or the divine mind which is influencing one. Attempts to conciliate society and so gain dominion over mankind arise from worldly weakness. He who leaves all for Christ forsakes popularity and gains Christianity. People with mental work before them have no time for gossip about false law or testimony. Being in sympathy with matter, the worldly man is at the beck and call of error and will be attracted thitherward. He is like a traveler going westward for a pleasure trip. The company is alluring and the pleasure is exciting. After following the sun for 6 days, he turns east on the 7th, satisfied if he can only imagine himself drifting in the right direction. Take away wealth, fame, and social organizations, which weigh not one jot in the balance of God, and we get clearer views of principle. Break up cliques, level wealth with honesty. Let worth be judged according to wisdom, and we get better views of humanity. To ascertain our progress, we must learn where our affections are placed, in whom we acknowledge and obey as God. If divine love is becoming nearer, dearer, and more real to us, matter is then submitting to spirit.
Isaiah. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. The Lord alone shall be exalted in that day, and the idols he shall utterly abolish. 1 Chronicles. Thine, O Lord, is the greatness, and the power, and the glory, and the victory, and the majesty. For all that is in the heaven and in the earth is thine. Thine is the kingdom, O Lord, and thou art exalted as head above all.
When we realize that life is spirit, never in nor of matter, this understanding will expand into self-completeness, finding all in God good and needing no other consciousness. Matter disappears under the microscope of spirit. When we learn the way in Christian Science and recognize man's spiritual being, we shall behold and understand God's creation, all the glories of earth and heaven and man. is hymn number 565. Rise up and walk, take up your bed. With these few words the sickness fled. Stretch forth your hand, receive your sight. Jesus commands, reveal God's might. You are God's purpose, his great design. Beautiful, blameless, his child divine. Holding your thoughts to the good and the true, Spirit will form you anew. Rise up and walk, God made you free, born of his liberty. Carefree and strong, you are his song, perfect for all to see. Mountains and seas, great rising trees, echo the joyous song. Heaven is here, harmony's bliss, to everyone belongs. Hymn number 565.
Rise up and walk, take up your bed. With these few words the sickness fled. Stretch forth your hand, receive your sight. Jesus commands, reveal God's might. You are God's purpose, his great design. Beautiful, blameless, his child divine. Holding your thought to the good and the true. Spirit will form you anew. Rise up and walk, God made you free, born of his liberty. Carefree and strong, you are his song, perfect for all to see. Mountains and seas, great rising trees, echo the joyous song. Heaven is here, harmony's bliss, to everyone belongs. Cleanse the lepers, heal the sick, cast out demons, raise the dead. Truth is revealed in every place, throughout all time, throughout all space. Right in this moment, doing God's will, these works shall you do, and greater still, standing triumphant upon holy ground. Songs of the angels resound. Rise up and walk, God made you free, born of his liberty. Carefree and strong, you are his song, perfect for all to see. Mountains and seas, great rising trees, echo the joyous song. Heaven is here, harmony's bliss, to everyone belongs.
Christian Science textbook. There is no life, truth, intelligence, nor substance in matter. All is infinite mind and its infinite manifestation, for God is all in all. Spirit is immortal truth. Matter is mortal error. Spirit is the real and eternal. Matter is the unreal and temporal. Spirit is God, and man is his image and likeness. Therefore, man is not material, it is spiritual.
And a relative scripture from 1 John. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that hath this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure.
Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Amen.